And we're live.
Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to episode 119 of Pillar Talk. This episode is brought to you by Flashback Antique and Crafts, Ruthless Pro Wrestling, Mugsys Grille Bar, and Monroe Sports Center. Thank you guys for sponsoring. We got a good show for you today. We got Coach K in the building. What's up, brother?
What's going on, my man? I'm happy to be here, and I appreciate y'all ready to talk some life experiences and coaching.
Hell yeah, dude. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So a lot of people who don't know, I kind of bounced around a bit when I was young. So I'm actually from this area, grew up in different parts of this area, but spent some time in Toledo, spent some time downriver. This is not just adulthood. This is even growing up. My family's kind of from all over the place. And then, so growing up, right, my mom and dad, they worked a lot. And they weren't always around, to be real with you. They had some issues growing up. And then they worked a ton, just to be real. They were always kind of grinding. So to be honest with you, man, I was always at grandparents' houses, this and that. So I got a pretty good, kind of experience of this whole area. So I am from here, just not always directly in Monroe. I've been in Erie, been in Monroe. Like I said, been down in Toledo a little bit, some different places. Like I was just telling you, I'm 29. I spent the last probably 5-6 years downriver, and we can get more into that as we keep talking. But now I'm back home. So coaching here again, working here. I got a family I'm raising. My wife, Meg, who runs the business with me. She's got a beautiful, two beautiful daughters. I help raise Aurora as my own, and then Skylar is my stepdaughter. So get to kind of play that stepdad role and help her through high school athletics. And
stepdad is great.
It is, man. It's a blast, bro. And then she plays high school sports. So like, man, it's super cool to like help her through soccer, help her through those things.
Coach her too. You got Coach K at your disposal,
man.
Sweetie.
Always, and it's like little ones getting into sports now too. So it's super cool. She loves being at football, man. She was hanging with Landon last night, running around, throwing the football. So yeah, we're really just here coaching, raising our family. I came back home, to be honest with you, because there was some things that we were doing downriver that I wanted to bring home. And I can jump into that more in depth too. Yep, had to, man, because it's cool to do some stuff. It's kind of like, and I want to shout out to my guy. It never hurts to shout out to good people, but Dorian Mandela. We talked to him at the Juneteenth celebration. He said, hey, man, he said, I had to go to California because there was some things I had to learn out there that I needed to bring back home. And that's the same deal, right? I felt that shit really close to the heart. I'm like, I had to go downriver and learn how to coach and learn from these people to be able to come back home and do the same things in my community. And we're at the very beginning of this process, to be honest. But yeah, so honestly, as far as coaching goes, I did play sports growing up around here. I graduated from Erie Mason, where I coach now. So I am back in my alma mater.
That's fucking dope.
That's something I always wanted to do, bro. Always. Just growing up coaching in the last, so this will be year 8 of coaching. Just as I've been doing this.
Since you were 21?
Yeah.
Coaching?
Yep. Damn. I coached first with Henry Jones, Hank Jones. He coaches over at Airport now, but a lot of people know Hank from over at the center and the YMCA and good people, man. He gave me my first shot over at Triumph Academy, actually. I coached basketball over at Triumph. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So, we had actually a couple championship teams there, and he really taught me a lot, man, about, so the cool thing is I got started in coaching with people who, and this goes all the way up through Romulus and all the way into now, who really put relationships and kids first over just winning or necessarily just success. And it's great, man, because when we've been able to do that, you actually get the results out of the kids, the respect, and then results come.
Young kids,
and they develop fast, man, when they buy in and trust you.
Yep.
And I don't even trip over the winning stuff because I know, and it's an old saying, if the kids trust me, they'll run through a wall. If they know I'll run through a wall for them, they'll run through a wall for you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I've been blessed for that, man, to be honest. And back to Triumph, that's where it kind of started in coaching. I played sports in high school. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I tried everything growing up, just to be real. I tried playing tennis for a while. I tried baseball. I played football. I played basketball. I tried a lot of different sports. And kind of, to be honest with you, in high school, found my footing in basketball. I was just naturally better at it. I don't know why. I was just, I did the little things, to be honest, really well in basketball. I rebounded. I played defense, like flat out, you weren't scoring on me. I actually could shoot the ball decent. My ball handling was okay. It wasn't spectacular,
White
but
boy got hoops.
hey, I didn't turn the right, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, like, I was fundamental, man. Like, people used to joke like Tim Duncan out here, and because I didn't make dumb plays, if that makes sense. Like, I might not have always made the Kobe Bryant shot.
You had your next move playing
already, man, and it was always smart. So like, I would get picked up a lot on teams and shit just because they were like, oh, he just ain't gonna turn the ball over, man. Like, he gonna just be efficient. So that's where I really found my footing. But to be real, to be honest with you, man, and this is kind of where business plays into things too a little bit, and how I got to be a business owner is, so when I went down some wrong paths, to be real, man. I kind of lost track when I was in high school of grades a little bit. That's also why I'm so heavy on grades with these kids, because, and I'm gonna drop some knowledge here, because what the kids don't understand all the time is the stuff you learn in school is not always just to, because I always hear kids say, and I'm sure we said it growing up, like, well, I'm not going to use a lot of this stuff. And I don't disagree with that. And that's a deep conversation that school needs reform and all them things.
Hour conversation.
It is, man. That's a whole nother. But at the end of the day, what I do tell kids is you will pick up some things along the way. You'll build some friendships and you'll get leverage. And that's what I wish I would have taken serious, is if I would have took school serious, I would have had that leverage of them grades to go play college sports. Whereas between grades, and honestly, there was people that I was hanging out with that was more interested in fun at that age than where they were going. And to get to that level, you got to be like, that's 5% right now. Go to college from high school. Like, you have to be a separate type of person to get there.
1% of that 5% go to fucking NFL.
Facts, or pro sports in general. Yeah. And that's extreme. Like, you got to remember how many numbers that is of people, and then how many actually is very small.
5% of a ton of high schools, and then 5% of a ton of college, and then 1% of a ton of colleges. There's only 32 NFL teams, or 32, a certain amount of professional teams.
And then you got all the other stuff. You got the all semi-pro stuff and all that, but a lot of that stuff doesn't pay your bills. So you have to make a tough decision between, can I have a family and play football anymore? Whereas that 1% that does end up making it, they don't have to worry about that necessarily. But the thing is it takes, like, you got to sleep right. You got to have the right connections to go to college and play college sports. You got to do a lot of things, and it's all got to be in sync. So it wasn't for me, to be honest. My grandmother passed away, and she was one of my primary caregivers growing up. She took care of me. She raised me. I spent a lot of time at her house. And so, to be honest with you, when my grandma got sick and passed away, it threw me way off track in life, man. I'm telling you, from the age of born all the way to when that happened, I was the happiest kid alive. I was always playing sports, always making everybody feel better. And then that happened, and I kind of got like hateful towards school life.
Got lost in the sauce.
I got lost, man. And then I became the kind of kid, though, who I love sports. So I tried to get like lost in sports, and that's where I really developed the love for sports, was because practice was my only time, and games were my only time of like happiness, forget everything.
You were out of your own head.
But I didn't understand at the time that, like, if you want to continue to do this, like, the school part has to come with it. It's part of why I coach now, because I'll make sure that any kid I come across understands that the school part has to come with it if you want to get to that level.
And I didn't realize that either. I'm, of course, a big body, 6'5", fucking 300 pounds, dude. I can go be a middle linebacker anyway.
Right.
And my dad kept saying that, the athlete part, but I never realized you're a school athlete before you can be a professional athlete. You're an athlete for the school.
Yep.
So you have to
even in college,
you have to be a motherfucking an example.
Yeah.
Like, you have to show them, do good in school and do,
And continue. My fault.
They said you had to get a 1.6 grade point average.
Yep, it was something around that for me too.
It was like C's.
Yeah.
I could have got.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to fucking put that extra work into school. Dude, I'm tough. I can fucking push a kid down.
Right.
What do I need to learn shit for if I'm just going to be big my whole life, you know? And I didn't realize that you're a school athlete, bro. You have to do school. You have to pass school to be in school to get, you know.
Right.
And high school was trying to teach me that, like, even in college, I would have to stay in college and do the classes.
Yeah.
But I was just like, nah, like, same thing you said. My friends were having fun. I wanted to have fun.
I want to do it too.
Yep.
Then you have those anomalies, right? Like Dennis Rodman. He never played high school or college.
Yeah. Yep. You got them crazy stories that I don't know if it's the right
that's talent you never find in just the average Joe.
Connections. And honestly, Dennis Rodman is the type of dude who put himself out there so heavily. He was such a character.
Not at first. Not until he went to Chicago.
He was pretty tame. It was honestly Showtime Chicago. Yeah, you're right. But see, and what happened to us in high school, man, to be honest, is we didn't understand there's actually a connection in how you, and shout out to Coach Cersei at Romulus for really teaching me this. There's a connection between who they are as a student and an athlete and a person outside of there. And I never really put it together until I started coaching. And I'm like, 90% of the kids that I see, if they don't try hard in school, they don't really try hard at practice, and they don't really do well at home. Their mama will text us, dad will text us, Coach, can you help us? He ain't doing nothing around the house. He's lazy. Yep. And then the kid that goes to school and at least goes to school every day and makes sure he gets his stuff done. Maybe he don't even got to be a straight A student, but gets there, gives his best effort, walks out, comes to practice every day. Typically he's around the house doing it. All goes hand in hand. And I never understood that as a kid because I just thought, I'll just be a really good sports player and I don't got to worry about all this other stuff.
That's what everybody thinks.
And that's holes in your character at the end of the day. And it takes coaches and parents like us and teachers to teach them that and really get that message across that, like, this stuff all connects. That's something I'm going to talk to the kids about today is the effort you give me out here should match the effort that you give everything. So what's it say if you come out here and give me 50?
It tells me you're undisciplined.
Facts. It tells me you are undisciplined and don't want to be here. And it tells me a lot of the stuff you probably go do, you probably don't want to do either.
It shows me that you're all talk and no action.
Yep. Exactly, bro.
Sometimes you got to full ass it, and that's
yeah.
That's just the name of the game. What got you into coach? Like, what did, like, when you were young, did you want to be a coach, or you wanted to be a professional athlete? Is what you wanted to do. So what happened? You didn't care about your grades, so you were like, fuck, maybe coaching.
So, well, honestly, to be honest with you, bro, I went to. I was thinking about what to do after high school. I didn't really want to go to college once I found out like sports really weren't going to be in the works, or I was going to have to do a ton to even, cause at that age I'm young, man, you're still partying. They were with the schools I visited for sports. We're talking about, I was going to have to be on a 2-year probation where they were going to be checking my grades on a daily basis and watching, basically monitoring what I was doing. And I just, man, honestly, to be real with you, I got a job at Finish Line in the Monroe Mall, and I kicked it off in business. Like, I got moved up to an assistant manager within 6 months at 18 and was like, hey, man, I'm good at this. Like, and not even just like slinging shoes. Like, I'm good at managing business. I'm good at these books. I'm good with these people.
Customer service.
I'm dapping people up. People love me. Like, people coming to me, texting me every day. Like, you got these shoes in. I'm like, got you, my guy. Like, and we were doing, man, I ain't even gonna lie to you. We were getting retro Jordans, and we were making money. Our store was booming. So I was like, screw it. I was like, I'm gonna get into business. So, but man, to be real with you, like, business is tough. And again, I had lapses in my character when I was young that held me from doing things. And a friend of mine reached out to me, was like, I can get you a good job at this auto plant. You can push these drive shafts for cars. You're going to make good money, man. Come work. So honestly, bro, I did that shit for about 4 years. And the whole time, to be real with you, that was after I quit coach. I actually did 2 years at Triumph and stopped coaching. So that whole entire time, bro, while I'm at the auto plant and everything, I'm like, hey, man, there's got to be something better than this, bro. I'm smoking cigarettes, chewing tobacco. I'm chewing a can a day, smoking a pack a day. I'm drinking, bro. I'm drinking on the way home. Like, I'm doing this. And that's just to be transparent with people, to let them know, like, everybody has been through some shit and you can get through it.
Yeah.
Like, if you keep
all
going,
go bullshit.
right. And if you keep going and don't quit, you'll find, and you really want to do some shit in your life, you'll get over it. But again, coaching was the intention that I found. And I always put that word up on Facebook, intentions, because once you find it, it changes your whole life. And you find out that you don't actually have to attack all your problems one at a time when you have intentions. Some of them problems, bro, they go away because you ain't even got time to fuck with them problems no more. Man, I'm going now. I'm doing brain jerk. I'm doing events. I'm coaching. We're too damn busy to worry. Some of them, they still have to be addressed, right? But there's some other shit that it just automatically is gone because you found intention in your life. Yep. And so I always preach about that. And that coaching was the intention that I was missing. So, bro, to be honest, I was like, screw it. I'm quitting the auto plant. I'm going to get a job, and a part-time job. I'm making decent money somewhere. And then I'm going to coach. And honestly, I wanted to coach high school football. I've always loved football, man. And it's the physicality of it. I went to games all growing up, played football, all those things. And the game for me is there's nothing like the fact that 11 people have to be a well-oiled machine and a brotherhood to make the shit happen to win. And I love it, man.
Everybody's got to do their job to make it.
Yeah. And if one don't, the whole thing can crumble. So it's a level of trust and love that you really got to have. And that to me is like, man, I've seen people go out on, and no disrespect to the game, but I've seen people go out on a basketball court, 5 strangers you ain't never seen before, but y'all talented, so you ran everybody off the floor. Yep. Football don't work like that, bro. You got to be in sync. And I like that about the game. It brings people together, I think, more than any sport.
The quarterback has to be protected. The quarterback has to know when these he has to trust the wide receivers to know that they're going to be in the spot that they're supposed to be.
Yep.
And I know number 4 is going to burn.
And you got to catch the ball. Yep. Same with the lineman. I got to know that you're going to protect this side. Yep. And if I do hit the ground, because we got a rule for all linemen.
Protection is the number 1 key.
It is.
I thought the lineman, I was a lineman. That's why. But my coach told me linemen are the biggest part of the whole team.
Facts.
A quarterback's not a quarterback without a lineman.
On Madden, I build my team from the lines. Both of them.
And you should really build it from the weak side tackle up, because the weak side, if he's right hand, the left tackle, because you should build it to his blind side protection. And if he does hit the ground, we have a rule, man. If the quarterback somehow hits the ground, all 5, or if there's a tight end, everybody should be running to him to pick him up. Yep. There should be immediate bodies getting the quarterback off the ground. And so man, intention, that was coaching, right? And it was high school football. So I quit the auto plant, said I'm out, I'm done working. I got a maintenance job. I still do that job in the mornings. So I do cleaning and maintenance, and then I coach from noon all the way on every day. And to be honest with you, I got a job with and I got to mention him, one of the best coaches in the state. He's phenomenal, man. Coach Al Demps, he gave me a shot. We were over at Summit Academy, and that's kind of where this whole thing started, man, downriver. And I was there for a short amount of time. Went with him over to Wayne Memorial, and then spent the last 3.5 years at Romulus before coming back here. But and honestly, the sports coaching, where that started was honestly COVID. I don't know if you want to touch on that, bro, but so that's where I'm transitioning right now. Is that's going to be not only the passion, but that's going to be the job, right? That's going to be what I do every day soon from here on out, type of deal. Mm-hmm. And that came at some whole different type of deal, to be honest. But the coaching passion for high school football, it just started from getting that first taste back at Triumph, the coaching, and like the kids, man, coming to you and then kids were going on to go to college at Madonna and stuff that we were coaching at Triumph, and seeing that was like, wow, man, like the kids we were coaching, and it ain't even on no like selfish shit. It's on some selfless shit for real. Yeah. It's like, them are your kids, bro, your babies. And it's like, my guys are up here playing ball. They're becoming dads. Like, the shit feels incredible when that
because
happens.
the first thing about coaching is you got to make these people feel like a family. Like you said,
Right.
trust.
Yep.
Trust. You got to make these people feel like a family. And these
Yep.
are all kids from every which way, where in town that you can get, you know.
And even in the same towns, different families, man. I mean,
different,
Yep.
because, you know, like Triumph's a charter school.
Facts.
It could be from anywhere in the
And they
city.
were.
They're just not in the
Yep.
same neighborhood, you know.
Yeah.
But then you got to teach them to love and trust each other.
Facts.
So you're making a little family. Every coach or every team that you have, you're trying to make them a family first.
Yep. Absolutely, bro. And if you don't, you can't win, and you're not doing your job as a coach. That's what we're supposed to do.
Young
first
athletes,
and foremost.
especially, you need that they need.
Yep.
I don't care if they're dunking the ball. I give a shit that they got the fundamentals and
Facts.
they are able to, I mean, even for a kid in general, listening to another adult.
That's big,
or
bro.
trusting somebody that you know is there to help you.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that. Like
routines.
Yep.
Being in a routine, committed to show up somewhere every day.
Yep.
That shit is all 100% true.
That's important for a kid.
And honestly, that's why, I mean, in society, a lot of us older adults, we struggle with that. So it's important that young, they develop that stuff. That's why as coaches, like kids think we get on their shit about getting here. Like, I don't get on your shit about getting to practice because I just want to be an asshole. I get on your shit because it's important for you to develop this routine, because you either have to show up to a job every day after this, or you have to show up to your business every day if you choose to be a business owner, because you only got one or two options, man. You either going to work for yourself or you're going to work for somebody. So, and you got to show up every day, whichever one you do. You can't fucking
even
take a day off.
Professional sports,
Yeah,
you're an
man.
employee for a fucking company.
And they make millions. Like, and them dudes, I don't know if you've ever met pro coaches, but them guys will walk up and be like, get the fuck out, you're cut. It's that serious. And I'm assuming we're allowed to cuss on here and shit, but like, they'll motherfuck you right out the door.
But like
take your million and get out of my face, bro. I don't pay you for your shitty performance or you to show up late. They are serious.
Like everybody's having, like, a lot of pro sports. They say LeBron James is not only one of the best basketball players, he's one of the best employees ever, because he works on his body. He knows that his body,
millions into it.
He knows that his body is his fucking, that's his employment.
Yep.
So he takes care of his body 100%. You see these guys that don't take care of their body, they party.
James Harden, bro.
Yeah, James Harden. He looks like shit now.
James Harden is a slob, man. I don't care what anybody says. He's a slob.
I think James Harden and Russell Westbrook are both slobs now.
I hate
Kyrie too, I think.
Oh, Kyrie so he's so confused, man, and Kyrie's problem is his inspiration's not basketball anymore.
Yep.
And he needs to accept that shit. And honestly, the NBA needs to accept that shit. He don't really want to play ball, so let's accept it. You know, stop crying about it at this point. Let the dude, he don't sign him, in my opinion. If he ain't going to be there, don't sign him.
You're an all-star. Kyrie Irving's an all-star. He's a really good basketball player.
Yeah.
He don't put the work in, fuck him. Like, for real, like, I'm paying you $35 million a year to fucking sit down.
Right. There's a reason, bro, that the three best basketball players we talk about are James, Jordan, and Kobe. And there's a reason everybody argues them, but there's the three best ever are because them three put in more work than everybody else. Well, there's a reason. And it's not just that. You can't just always put in work, bro. It's not just about putting in work. It's about having the passion, and it's about also having the execution and the plan to do shit. Like, part of Kobe's thing was he trained with the best trainer in the world. And I got to share this because this is awesome. But I've had conversations with Tim Grover, who is the man who trained Kobe and Michael Jordan and now trains Russell Wilson. So I've had personal conversations with this dude just because his books changed my life. And that's the difference, bro. These guys are wired different, and it's not just about how much work they put in, but they are always stepping in a direction. It's not just, he compared it to, like, Tim always compares it to, like, if you grind something down, if you're grinding, but you're not grinding nowhere, it just turns into dust, right? Like, you really grinding something. So you got to move somewhere while you're grinding. And them guys, like, they target their game. They figure out, like, for example, Kobe missed 8 shots his first pro game starting, 8 air balls, bro, and got booed out the gym. So what he figured out was he was tired. He figured out that by the time he went through all these games through the week, practice, he found out that his legs were not strong enough to uphold this entire season and game and all these things. So he had to go in the whole offseason to make sure there was a heavy emphasis on his legs. And that's the type of stuff, man, that makes them people great. It's the vision. It's the willingness to, and LeBron is, they call him the GM and they make fun of him, but like, that's part of what makes him great is he's put together teams that have won championships.
He's
right?
a coach.
Yeah.
And
he
a player
coaches
at the same time.
Yeah, man. He's,
Like,
he's
player,
Jackie Moon,
and
bro.
GM.
You hire that guy. You hire that guy on your team as an employee.
Yeah.
And he helps the coach. He helps development. He helps all that shit because he's a legend too.
Yep.
I mean, they're gonna listen to
And
him.
I love him, bro.
But you want your young kids to listen to this guy. This guy's fucking ancient, and he's dogging people on the basketball
Dude,
court.
it's
He's
not
30.
ancient.
He's 37. What'd you say, Josh?
I was gonna say he's not that old. He's
37
only,
in basketball
that's-
is fucking
And,
old.
and
dude.
what everybody don't realize about LeBron is he went to 10 straight finals or Eastern Conference finals, which means my man played extra basketball in the playoffs because them are 7-game series, so best of 4. So you at least play 4 extra games a series.
Yep.
Plus he had a lot of games where he went extra with different teams, man, in the East, where he used to go extra with the Celtics.
He
and
owned
the
the Eastern
Pistons, and
Conference.
He owned it, but
himself.
but he plays so many games because of owning it that's not just a 37-year-old. He got a lot of miles, bro, basketball miles. But that's what makes him great. And so yeah, man, that's just to kind of touch back. That's where I got my intention, bro, was in coaching and just wanting to take kids and help them understand the connections between school.
And it's not even playing sports. You're developing these kids to be better adults.
Facts.
You know, and that's the main emphasis you came in here on is you pretty much put coaching in the back and you said, I'm trying to get these kids, help these kids out. Like the first thing you said was they don't use everything they use in school, but they need it.
Yeah,
they need it just to fucking, you know.
You need the leverage, bro. And I wish school was reformed, like we said earlier. I wish it was different, but it's not. And at the time, you got to do the best with what we got. So you need that leverage. Them, if you want to go to the next level, and if you want to go, like if you want to go to U of M, even just not to play sports, just to go, like you're gonna have to do that. And a lot of people always ask me, they always go, "Why do you always go to schools that are in rebuild?" Like you always go to schools where they seem to have like a lot of problems, or you know the kids have issues, or maybe this and that.
Fucking help.
And I'm like, that's why, because this ain't about winning, man. If I wanted to win, I could have dipped out and went to a bunch of different schools. I had offers to go to schools that won a lot of games that are in the playoffs every year, and I turned them offers down because there's kids in need that's deeper than just they need to win a game. Like, and I know there's kids at those schools too that need help. I get it, but like when you find a fit for you. And when the kids are there that really need help, it's hard to just like, man, I came to Erie now at this time because we graduated a ton of kids from Romulus and we get to watch them all move on now. And they're kind of starting fresh. So now is a good time before you build all the relationships with all that new young guys. Now it's a good time to go home to the alma mater and fulfill that dream and help this group of kids that also needs help, man. Trust me, because it's everywhere.
Is this your first year?
First at Mason. This is my 8th year coaching. 6th in high school football.
6th year in high school football. Okay. So like you didn't coach an official season with the Erie Mason yet, or you're coaching this
fall will be my first one, man. So I'm ready, bro. We've been in the weight room. I brought my speed and agility stuff and my weight room stuff to come help out. I'm working on offense, defense, special teams. I'm coordinating the special teams.
Belichick. Okay.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to, but honestly, man, that's what it was at Romulus. There was so much versatility. Just we were a coaching staff, man, but we were a family, right? So it wasn't even like we all worked together. Everything was, hey, man, one day, coach, if he's got family matters, I got his group. You got this group. Primarily, I coached O-line and backers. For the last few years, I've coached linebackers every year on defense that I've been coaching, but we had that type of mentality.
Is the funnest position.
Oh, defense. Bro, I love it because we just get to come downhill and smack people, and we get to coordinate, and It's a
But
beautiful position.
when I look at the best defensive player in the world, they it's a toss up, but I think Ray Lewis is the best.
I can't, it's
Because
hard to
he
argue,
literally would call out what the quarterback's about to do. And he would tell his defense, he'd smack his dudes in the ass. Hey, just smash this hole. Smash this hole.
He would tell them before they ran.
Mm-hmm.
Ray was one of a kind.
Ray watched tape.
Yeah, facts.
I think all he
Hey,
did,
young athletes that listen to this, peep that.
Yep, watch that fucking tape, dude.
That's the most important thing, that your mind is more important.
Study.
Yep. Because you got to know, if you don't watch tape, you don't know what you're looking for on the field, to be honest. It's like going out there blind. You got to have some kind of general idea, because you see the yard lines, you see where the guy lines up, you see where the guy took his step. And then when you go out there on the field, you can visualize what you just saw. And if you don't watch film, man, it's really hard to be a good football player, to be honest. It really is. But at Romulus, man, we did a really good job at developing that program over the last 3 years. To be honest, we started rough, and kids not showing up to film and this and that. And then we ended up we've got kids all over. And I know I'm at Mason now, but it's awesome because I got kids at Concordia. We got kids in South Carolina. We got kids at Siena Heights, multiple kids at Siena Heights. Like, kids really developed over the last few years there and went on. And kid that I coached the last 3 years, he's a senior now. And we're actually super tight still, but he just got his first offer from Olivet. So, like, man, those kids really, like, that's why I go to rebuilds when people ask, because you get to watch them become good people. Their grades go up, they're invested, and it's crazy awesome, man. And we're going to do the same thing.
And they're like, thanks, coach. I didn't, without you, I would have never fucking figured this out. Facts.
And now you can do it these days without just coaching high school sports. And that's where the intention of the sports performance coaching comes in, because now not only can I do it at Erie Mason, if a kid from Monroe trains with me, we're in a day and age where I'll never step on the head coach over there's toes. But I can communicate with him and say, like, this guy's doing training with me on the side and he looks great. I want to send stuff over to the head coach here, and here. Are you cool with that type of deal? And now you have that added help to even get other kids up out of here, man. So it's like,
that's what,
so it's
not
been beautiful.
Like it's so beautiful seeing that.
It shouldn't be.
No, I'm helping your kid, and this is what would help a little bit more.
And some people, I don't know if some people see it that way, bro, just because they might see the cap and be like, well, you want to help a Monroe kid, but you work at Erie Mason. But at the end of the day, you have to understand, like, I'm
just trying to develop these kids.
I'm trying to help you. Yeah. And I also have turned this now into where, why am I doing like jobs at auto plants and this and that when I could open a facility or even work at parks and rec centers and we could help them develop and I could pay the bills with that. And like, I don't overcharge kids. And there's a lot of training out there that'll charge you $60, $70 a session. I don't do nothing crazy like that. But there also is this, everybody's doing this nowadays. And I figure for me, why not, if I already am good at this, why not help kids develop as people, athletes, and why not be able to survive off of it? And that's what my wife has her side of the business to help us. And we have other plans. Like, I don't need to make a killing. I just need to be able to feed myself and pay the rent.
Yep. And
in exchange for that, you get years of education experience. Now you get a certified ISSA coach. You get an overtime athletes coach. You get all this great experience in coaching, man. And then, we talked about, more importantly, you get somebody who will answer your phone call at 3 a.m. if your girl just broke up with you and you just need to talk to coach. You get somebody that cares, bro. So you get that for what? $15, $20 a session. So it's, again, just to tie that back in and not get too business, but like, bro, I'm doing this out of the genuine of the heart and I just need to eat type of deal. But during COVID, that's where this stuff all started. I was looking at COVID, like, athletes were hitting me up during COVID, like, we want to train. And I'm like, COVID's going on right now, man. But I was like, honestly, if you want to come out and you want to stand over there and you want me to demonstrate over here and mask up type of deal, or we can just spread out.
We can yell at each other.
And that's literally what we did, man. You over here, I'm over here. So I started like looking into this OTA, bro, and learning about this overtime athletes down in Florida, and started studying how these guys train individual athletes for sport specific reasons and all this stuff. And I fell in love and was like, that's the best coaching I've ever seen in my life. Yep. I got to do this. So I studied, started gaining kids to start with doing it with me on the side. And honestly, bro, when I was downriver, it was hard though, because Coach Surse and all them guys did that. So that's part of the reason why now when I come home, you do have some stuff like that in the area, but there's also an opening for some things. Whereas downriver, it's flooded. There's a coach on every corner, and some of it's just dudes that played high school last year and now they want to make money because they don't really want to get a job or so. But some of it, man, and that's just being real. But yeah, I found that like, man, I could do more coaching. I could help more kids, and I could potentially pay my rent, eat off of this. And that's how we got into OTA, man. To be honest with you, that's how Overtime Athletes came about. And now we're booming. We coach Allen Park volleyball. I got 6 to 8 because I got to count now, including Keith and Tyler, but 6 to 8 student athletes individually that we work with, and we're expanding. So, man, it's been awesome.
You since you've been an Erie Mason, so you get to work with my boy Zach Miller.
Yep,
that's my boy. I just wanted to say that because I'm gonna shout him out on
Zach. And I hope, because Zach does tune into a lot of stuff that we post.
He's a good fucking dude.
So yeah, he is. And Zach, I hope you listen to this, bro, because I know you probably will. But hey, man, I love you. Keep working hard, Zach.
That dude,
Zach's been showing up to the weight room consistently for us.
He's a grinder.
We talked to him about being a leader, and that because we don't have any seniors, bro, to keep it real. This is very young this year. And we came to Zach, told him, there's a lot on your shoulder, but you're capable of it. Need you to be at the weight room every day.
If you need him to be a leader, that's the perfect guy.
And he's showing up, man, and he's leading the guys, and he's showing them how to lift. And so I can't wait to watch him, bro, this fall. And he actually works. So Zach's actually one of my student athletes, him and his little brother. So they work with me through my business on the side. Yeah. Okay. So they actually get extra work in with me. So
I fucking love that family. I think it's funny that you're like, I can't believe you're so tied into them. I'm like,
oh, that's awesome, man.
That's damn near family, dude.
I mean, bringing me shirts, man. When I first got here, I felt more than welcome. So they made me feel awesome. But
shout out Suze.
Yep,
for being great, Suzette.
And it's fun being back, man. Because
that
like
whole family's great. All three of them kids, all that whole family.
And it's going to be awesome because we got all this stuff in the summer that we do, and it involves everybody. And I can't wait to even so I know a lot of people from Erie, but again, when you're gone for years and come back, it's just running into people. It's kind of like Kevin last night. And it's like Dorian, when he come back home, it's just, you start to, oh man, I ain't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
So it's very cool, man. Being back at Mason is awesome. That's one thing. And just because we want to talk personal, right? Like one of my goals, just to be real with everybody, is I'm a complex person. I'll be real. I got 2 roads this can go, and either road for me is fulfilling in my life. I either want to make it to the college level and be the strength and conditioning, speed and agility coach, or be on the field, to be honest with you. But I don't want to go to a place like U of M. I want to go to a place like Concordia, where and shout out to my guys at Concordia. But I want to go to a place like that where they still very heavily value getting these kids jobs, right? And because they understand, and they, believe it or not, they have NFL prospects at Concordia. Okay. You wouldn't guess it, but they do. There's 2 right now that are being looked at for next year that are pretty big potential picks, a wide receiver and a D tackle. Okay. So them guys,
D tackle,
he's a big boy, bro, too. I mean, he's a monster. And then they got another guy that's been hurt that they think could, if he comes back healthy, they think he's going to be an absolute NFL prospect too. So on the D line. So and these guys been winning, man. And that's a school where they still value very much getting kids jobs, education, morals.
The next level.
Yeah. And I love that stuff, man, because I feel like D1 and that type of stuff, it becomes a lot of business oriented, right? And So that is my goal, man, is to be at a place like that in that level. Or the other route, bro, to be honest, would be to open a small gym where we do OTA training and we do the sports performance, and I just stay at the high school level. And this Erie Mason thing's cool because if I do go the route of coaching at the college level, this is a stop that I have to make. And it just means something to me. And these kids I've already built relationships with. I have to see this group through as long as obviously the school things go well. You know what I'm saying?
But you put that sentimental value in it too.
And these are the crazy thing to you about this, my guy, is like, so when I go to Romulus, it was awesome because a lot of these kids needed direction, help, they needed coaching, and it's beautiful to do that. But there's a whole nother kind of perspective to this. Now these are families that I grew up with. I like my aunt and grandma. My grandmother was a bus driver here. So like these families, I'm teaching kids, man, that either I went to high school with sometimes, or like my aunt went to high school with, and they're kids from the community. And it's crazy that it's like now you get to impact them and try to get them. And one of the big things we try to bring to this area that I'm trying to bring, man, is this area gets a bad knock for like, we don't have any athletes here, or they don't get recruited from around here, and I'm coming in with a hammer to smash that shit. That is not true, bro. We're going to get kids up out if they want to go experience. And I don't push kids, but I do say, like, if you want up out of Monroe, Erie, whatever, I'm going to get you up out of here, bro. I'll get you out. I will get you. But you got to do it.
You got to meet me.
School, everything. You got to do it. But if you uphold your end, even out of this town, even out of Erie Mason High School,
sky's the limit.
I'll get you out because we do it. We've proven it at Mason or at Romulus and downriver. We've proven it. We've taken kids and said, despite this terrible home life, bro, terrible, some of the shittiest home lives I've ever seen. Despite that, despite all the shit you got to go through, if you show up to practice in school every day and give it all, I'll get you out. These kids getting scholarships right now, flat out. One of these kids on a scholarship. And his home life wasn't quite as rough, but he went through a lot of shit. I'm not going to lie. Hung with some dudes he shouldn't have. He's got a scholarship. He's got a kid, man. He's playing football, and he's a great human being. He's rolling, bro. Mature as hell, just rolling. And it's like, that's what I want to bring here now, the community. Because I done seen some guys seen guys from Monroe that were 6'7", that had 2-3 kids in high school and we're out. And I don't mean any disrespect if anybody knows who, can relate to who I'm talking to, but
I can.
There's some people, man, that have been through this town I want to be the coach that makes sure that stuff doesn't happen. And I'm not even like hating saying if you have a kid in high school, it's over, but you need the proper guidance and plan at that point if you're still going to try to do something in college. Because go watch Last Chance U. There's cats at JUCO that got kids with them. Like, it can be done, but you got to have the right plan at that point. And so I don't want nobody to think I'm just saying,
or the right person on your team,
or the right person, right?
And you got to, and like you though, you're not going to help somebody if they don't show you that motivation, that their heart and soul is in it.
And the problem is, like, I work with people hard, but at the same time, man, there comes a certain, and it's different, to be honest, with high school and with my coaching personally. With my coaching personally, I'll cut you off. If I get a couple months in and feel as though you continuously call, and I've done that before, can't take you, man, because at the end of the day, there's another kid waiting in line who I can train, who actually wants it, right? And now I'm doing that kid a disservice because I'm wasting my time with you. And that's where, as a coach, you have to understand that. With high school, it's a little different because you want to try to keep the kids showing up, because once you cut a kid from football, sometimes it can spiral.
Okay.
But honestly, man, and honestly, it's with the school, everybody has a set time. With me, it's my own personal time. It's personal, man. I drive to this location to train you, spend my gas, take out of my daughter's life. You get what I'm saying? To come here. So, and if you show up, I have no problem doing those things, coaching you to the utmost. But you start, coach, I got this. Coach, I got this. Man, I got to cut you and I got to get somebody else. Right. With football, it's different because, again, it's a school sport. You don't choose to show up. Then, honestly, come fall, you just ain't going to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So I try to be fair, and I'm trying to bring that here. And I want people in this community to understand, like, you can get recruited up out of Ida, Erie, Mason, Monroe, and there's legit like athletes here. I was just talking to D Mills. Shout out to D, and Bronco McCart. Shout out to Bronco. We were just talking. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We were just talking about how much loaded talent there actually is in this area at the Juneteenth competition. It's loaded around here. People just, we haven't honestly tapped into it as much as we could. And now, I don't do the same things as these guys, but now you have training going on at Go Mad. And I don't do the same thing as these guys, but you have training going on at Level Up. You have Coach K. Now D Mills is getting ready to start working with some guys I hear.
Yep.
So you have opportunities now for these athletes and I always tell student athletes, like, I'm never going to tell you I'm better than somebody else, this and that. What I'm going to tell you is my credentials, how I coach, who I am, what we do. And then if that fits you, let's get this work.
Yep.
I don't believe in bashing coaches, putting them down. It's same with football, man. We all run different offenses. We discipline different. Some guys make kids run stairs. Some guys make kids do this and that. We all got different ways of systematically doing things.
Yep.
So I don't hate. But you have these opportunities now in this town. And, I think it's awesome because, again, working with the ALCC a little bit and being able to do camps there will open up even more opportunities. Again, D is starting to get involved. So we're really bringing that downriver kind of almost Detroit athletic attitude here now. We're trying to do that in Monroe County now, where you take athletics, the same type of seriousness here as you do in Taylor, Detroit, Romulus. We want y'all to take it serious here at our schools because, man, you can find scouts.
There's a way.
Romulus, Summit, Wayne, Central, Loyola. They go to all these schools, but around here, it's like you might get a scout from this small school to come here and there. At Monroe, you might get a couple scouts. It's just not as heavy, bro. And like I'm part of that. I'm here is to smash that, man, and help these athletes get up out of here. Like I said, we probably got 8 or 9 kids playing college football right now. I'm working with a couple kids that are well on their way to college football from Mason and from my training, man. There's a handful of volleyball girls out at Allen Park that are well on their way to most likely playing. If they want to, they're going to play college volleyball because they have the grades and they show up. So, and that's what we're trying to do here, man, is really, really help our kids get opportunities. And the reason I say this, T, is so it's to help them develop as young human beings. And we talked about that a lot. But the reason I bring up the building them as athletes and getting them recruited, and I believe life's about experiences, bro. And I believe our kids haven't always had the best opportunity to go experience things at the student athlete level, to get recruited, to get scholarships, to go off to Cincinnati or Florida or wherever to go to school, even like not even just athletics. Like our kids deserve experiences if they want them. And that's what I think is beautiful about coming back is, the relationship part obviously comes first, and you get to experience all that things and help them become better moms, dads when they get older, help them know that, oh, when I get older, I got this routine because I learned that from sports. But it's also beautiful to come here and go, look, if you do this, we can get you guys life experiences because you can't replace it, man. We're a collection of experiences. That's like, that's what we are. Like, think about it. Everything you do, everything you say, who you are today, the way you act, the way you are with Brain Jerk, everything is all off of because of all the shit you experience, good and bad. We're just a collection.
An old man told it to me the best in the sauna. He said, life is just a story that's told.
Facts.
That's all it is.
Facts, bro. That's straight learn. Facts.
And that's when I told him, I said, older men have a lot more wisdom. He's like, no.
Are you introverted?
What's introverted?
Meaning you're more of a homebody. You kind of like to be at home opposed to crowds. Because I know like my wife is introverted, right?
I'm extroverted, but like I do like now that I have a wife and kids, I really enjoy being home.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I like that because the only reason why I enjoy being home right now is because I'm so busy The more busy we get,
the more you want to go home too and see them. Though.
In my head,
but yeah, I feel that.
And if I'm sitting at home by myself for 4 days in a row, I ain't got shit
okay.
to do.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna go fucking clinically insane.
That's why COVID was tough, bro. That's why. So that's why I started coaching the sports performance. I was like, dude, I got to do something because football shut down, my job shut down, and that. But I felt
useless after the accident. Nobody wanted. I can't work for nobody.
Right. You just trying to recover and get right.
Brain jerk. I really didn't say it was. It was a little bit of a purpose, but I was like, dude, this doesn't feel like a job.
It's not, that.
But it kind of did, but it didn't feel like a job. I'm needed, but it's just me and my buddy fucking videotaping ourselves,
Right. I feel that.
And then once it started feeling like a job and there's shit, like, oh.
But you guys, but that's what's beautiful,
and
man.
I thought it was going to be too much that it was feeling like a job. My life has never been better
because you enjoy it.
Now I really feel like Brain Jerk is a real job because I'm really trying to make this
do something special,
limit,
Yeah.
And I'm really I'm at the most calm in my mind because I'm so fucking busy.
Right.
I'm at the most, and when I have a chance to go home and lay on the couch with my wife and catch one or two movies or something, that's low key. I used to not want to be home ever.
Right
now, I just want to go, dude. My wife's at home, and I'm going to touch her.
Right.
Hand on her so I can sleep better.
I honestly do the same thing. Meg knows. She gives me kind of a neck rub, man, as I fall asleep because I sleep funky, dude. So my neck and shoulders be torched every day, and that'll put me to sleep. But it's the same thing. Some days are really like 16-hour days, man, of just straight going, and it's crazy, man. But yeah, so the reason I was asking, like, so that's that was one of the challenges for me in all of this was like I was super introverted, bro, to be honest, and when COVID happened, I had to change that. I kind of flipped that whole thing. And
that's what really was like, oh, this is
hey,
scary.
Man, yeah. And that's when coaching really, like, I was like, oh man, I got to get busy. I got to build something. I got to help Meg build something, because she wanted to run a business and she was pondering what to do. And so we really got busy at that point, man. And that changed the whole game. Cause you got to understand, even when you're introverted, like, you got to just surround yourself with the right people. Yep. For me, is being in the right spot for coaching, and then the right group, our group of people, right? And then that introverted shit, it comes a lot easier for people, man, because you just feel at home with your family.
No, I'm definitely an extrovert, but I enjoy my family time.
I feel that 100%.
Well, now is the first time I ever had a family. The last year,
same
so
here.
It's like
we in the same boat. I mean, I'm going on. This is my second year, so. Actually, me and Meg have been together for about 2.5, married for so we'll be going on, our anniversary is actually not far. We're about halfway there now, but man, same thing. And that helps me, honestly, that helps me with coaching too, just for the people like that, raising a family and the girls, bro. It's like, man, it helps me stay level headed. When I first started coaching, I'll be honest, I was kind of, aggressive, old school.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Run more.
Yeah. Get your ass on the stairs. Yeah. I don't want to hear shit from y'all. I was that kind of type of coach, man. And then honestly, I did it for a few years. Meg and them came into the picture and it changed, bro. It made it like there's a way you can connect with these kids without doing that shit, man. Yep. And that's what really has made coaching blow up for me, to be honest. It's the way you treat people. Is coaching them the right way. OTAs taught me even more how to coach these kids the right 100 cue rules, bro. Our session, I got to cue you 100 times. Either it's either on your game or your something mental. So either good job, encouragement, or hey, straighten your back to go at this angle, whatever it is. So, man, that really does it. That family, it helps, bro. And to be honest, it's cool because the kids come with me. Everything I coach, a lot of times they come with me to do everything. They'll come take pictures or watch, so it's awesome, man. It is really cool.
So what's the future for Coach K and Kennedy Health and Wellness?
Honestly, so the future would be to start, it would be we're doing some stuff with the Opportunity Center at the ALCC.
Okay.
So we're going to be doing some camps with them. My guy Anthony over there and I have been talking for quite some time. Finally looking to get those pushed through now that I'm home from Romulus. So we're going to be doing some camps. I'll have a sports performance day once per week that people can stop in for an hour, get work in. I'll have a youth camp hopefully in July. That's my goal. So it'll be ages 5 to 12. So just the young kids come in, learn all the fundamentals and foundation of how to run, how to move, push-ups. And then there's some other things planned, a sports nutrition class. We're going to do that one Wednesday a month, first Wednesday a month. So student athletes or even people in general, if you want to know more about nutrition, come talk. And we can talk about that. I'm certified in sports nutrition as well. So there's a lot going on with the ALCC, man, to be honest. I train individual athletes out of there. We also train at the park. So right now we're out at parks anywhere. I'll also do house calls, those sort of things. I've been to backyards, man. So I've been to backyards where people got pools so they can bust a sweat and then go jump in their pool when they're done. They come to me, you know what I'm saying? So I can get in this pool when I'm done. I'll do house calls. We do parks. We go to the ALCC. But honestly, what's next, man, as far as that goes, would be about a 500 or 600 square foot facility. I don't want nothing
not
crazy.
Not too big, not too small.
A lot of my stuff is individual, man, and I like it that way because it's
solo, one-on-one.
It's programming for people individually, man. My stuff's so crazy that I test the strength at each of your legs, single leg testing, to where I find out which leg is weaker and stronger. Yep. And instead of doing even sets, so say you're doing a lunge, 3 sets, 6 each leg, I'll have you do maybe 8 on the right leg if your right leg's weaker, 4 on the left. Right. That's how deep the programming is, man. So like when you start getting teams, it's hard. Now I do like the volleyball team because I use OTA's volleyball program and we have specific goals as a team that we're trying to accomplish there. Like one of our main goals, for example, is increase vertical. So that's a big goal of ours. We need as a team for every girl's vertical to increase because they're short. They don't have as many tall girls playing. Right. So that program is very specific to them building vertical, getting stronger in the lower body, explosiveness.
Jumping.
So, So it's a little easier to do that, but a lot of it's individual, man. So 500, 600 square foot facility. Just kind of where Coach K trains as individual athletes. I'll still do stuff with the ALCC or different places time to time.
But have a place where all your shit is and you ain't got to tote it around. A
home base,
stuff.
man.
Yeah,
and then rainy days, man. Like, for example, you get a rainy Sunday, the ALCC building might not be, I don't think they're open on Sunday.
Right.
So you get a rainy Sunday, now you get to just go to your gym. So that's next, man. And then to be honest, I even would like to do something with Oaks. I've talked about it in the past. I'm going to get down to Oaks soon with Kelly and them and see about potentially putting on some things with them.
There's a ton of positivity in sports.
Facts. Absolutely. And it brings them together and we can teach life lessons to them. And honestly, man, I'm going to bring a lot of coaches out for these camps, guys that necessarily aren't necessarily even coaches, but guys that want to come out, be encouraging, watch the kids. And again, some of it's simple, man. So teach them how to do a push-up. You don't have to be a 10-year high school football coach to teach a kid how to do a push-up and encourage him to do it right. So we're going to bring a lot of good people on, man. I've talked to numerous people from Jeff at Monroe Nutrition to D to you guys. So I'm just, I was running it by people last night, a couple people. So we're going to bring some people out and have them help those. And honestly, as far as like, so
I can coach them how to eat.
You are, that was some championship effort. So the other thing is I'm always continuing my education. I'm getting ready to do, right now I'm certified as a strength coach, strength and conditioning, personal training, sports nutrition. And I'm getting ready to finish a youth coach certification through ISSA and also a therapy coaching. So when you come back from a torn ACL type of deal, we can actually work with you. And then the coolest thing of all this is overtime athletes. And I have to talk about it for a minute because I honestly owe all my coaching credit as far as the sports performance. I owe it to them. All my systems are from them. Again, I was asked out of under 50 coaches were asked out of the entire country to join this coaching OTA University. So I was one of select few among the country that Chris actually reached out to and said, I want you to be a part of this. I'm going to teach you how we do it. You're going to become a certified OTA coach. They look up in the directory. They'll find you. Mind you, man, these guys have 200,000 athletes across 91 countries. So between virtual and in person, they train the number one receiver for the Packers, Marvez Scantling. I believe that's his name. Sorry if I screwed that up.
It was Devontae Adams.
It was Tony Jones, the backup running back for the Saints. One of the number one or in the top 5, I can't remember exact rank, but volleyball players. So they coach really high level athletes and then a ton of college football players. So I owe a lot to them. That's next. I'm actually going to be certified probably Tuesday at the latest. I'll be an OTA certified coach. I'm actually in the middle right now. Your last test is a mock workout plan for Tony Jones from the Saints. So you have to do a mock workout plan for, I believe it's 3 months. I'm on month 1 right now. I'd have to go back and check, but 3 months of his training before his season goes, and you have to send that back. So it's basically breaking an NFL guy and doing a program for him, for an elite level athlete, for a pro athlete. So that's giving you that crazy experience. So I'm trying to take my time. It's actually
throwing you into a bed of wolves.
It is
what it's doing.
It is, but sometimes and I tell athletes this, you got to get thrown into the fire. Nate Allen, Eat My Treats. Shout out to Nate, but he was saying the same thing. He wants to get his son working and get him just playing ball as much as possible. He said, throw him in the fire, man. Sometimes life experiences, that's the best way to do it. Yep. We grew up, we talked about it. Josh and all of us were talking about it. We grew up playing at the park, man. Actually, it was D Mills and Jeff I was talking to about it just yesterday. We grew up down at the park till the lights couldn't shut off, man. Riding bikes, playing basketball, playing football.
In the lights, nighttime.
Right.
Dude,
and sometimes that.
Yeah.
We were getting hit in the face with ball because we couldn't see, but we were like, screw it.
We're looking for all the time we were looking for a night spot that had lights on it, and it was out by Triumph.
That
was
awesome.
Out there. Had fucking lights on the
and then
court.
you're running it for another hour. But these is different these days. So, and that's why it's important even for this job, man, coaching, because they're gonna need it. They need it to get opportunities to come out. They need to catch wisdom off of us, especially those of us like, man, as a coach, I messed up growing up. Not as a coach, but in my life, I messed up. So as a coach now, it's super important for me to go back and help these kids, bro, and get them.
Let them know your mistakes. So
right.
They don't,
and teach them from them, man. So that's the future, bro, is to continue to help these kids, get them recruited, get them off to college, get that facility running, do some things with the MCOP and Oaks. And honestly, continue to expand and just be as much of a help as we can to anybody, man. The Coach Kennedy thing is beyond just coaching, right? We're helping you guys set up. We're showing up at events. I want to be more than just a guy that takes kids and coaches them. And I love it. I grade it. I love it. It's great. But, and it's funny because Dustin Cole, the comedian, was messing with me at the comedy show, and I was dying, but he was like, we got fucking motivational speaker over here. And I was like, yeah, bro. I said,
honestly, bro, I don't have a bad day. Shut the fuck up, dude.
He was pissed, bro. And I was like, no, for real though, man. I said, I get a little tired sometimes, a little frustrated, but like, it's like Nipsey and Kobe used to say, just when you learn how to handle your feelings, bro, when you learn how to cut the emotions out and handle your feelings, and life changes for you. So I really don't. And like, so when I was messing with, one of them things he said, it kind of made me think like, yeah, bro, I do want to be more than just a sports performance coach or even a high school coach. Like, man, because these dudes like Gary V and Eric Thomas and Tim Grover, and they really do help people. And some of it I know some people just got on YouTube, listened to it once, and then it's screwed. But there's some people, bro, who I know listen to Gary V every single day, and that shit helps their decision making. There's people that I know, like myself, I read Tim Grover books every day, and I've read Relentless and Winning twice, and I still read a chapter out that shit every morning, 30 minutes, because I'm not even motivated, because I believe motivation is rookie. That's where shit goes away. When you're motivated, it's like a quote on the wall and it gets you pumped. When you're inspired is when shit is every day. You guys You guys aren't motivated, bro, to do this. You guys are inspired.
Oh, yeah.
This is how many podcasts do you guys do with the Light It Up now? Was it 575 or something crazy?
something like
Like,
that. Yeah.
bro, that's not motivation anymore. That's inspiration.
That's like life now.
I'm doing this every day
Yeah.
because I love this shit. I'm
Yeah.
inspired to do it.
Mhm.
It's my routine.
It's getting a lot easier. Well,
Yep.
not
And
easier, but a lot.
But you just learn to do
changed
it,
up,
bro.
and yeah, it's
and changing it up, keeping it fresh it does good too, man. But that's what elevating always does. That's why you always have to look for your next move.
Yep.
You can't just stay doing the same move over
Yep.
and over because you will get bored. That's why when people judge me, like, who's listening to this, I hope everybody hears this. Like, don't judge me when I say, like, there's goals in my coaching career that there's experiences that I have to see because I have to level up too at the same time. But I promise you, in the process, I'm going to build lifelong relationships where I'm going to talk to these kids forever. And I'm also going to help these kids get to where they want to go. And honestly, man, the timing for me has been great so far because I've been able to coach kids all the way through, then go somewhere.
Yeah.
And I haven't really had that, like, oh, I left all these kids in the middle of something. My plan is to do the same thing at Mason. See this freshman group all the way through. And then after that, if we continue to stay there and I got a gym, cool. If Concordia calls and says we need some help, because you gotta level, bro. You gotta continue to evolve your life. And again, that's why I said with the sports coaching, like, more clients is evolving. That's more kids you can help.
Yeah.
That's that's more kids that you get to go watch. That's the best part, is going to watch the kids in college and stuff. Like, I love the grind. Don't get me wrong.
On TV.
Yeah.
I coach that kid.
Facts. And I love the grind. Like, I do. But you know what also is cool? Sitting back and going, hey, man, that's awesome that you made it that far. You deserve it. You put the work in. You deserve that. And honestly, like, people might take this wrong, but coaching's overrated. Fucking coaching is overrated. Love the kids. Teach the kids how to be good human beings. Coach a little bit of the schematic shit and coach technique, and you'll be good, bro. But think about it. How many plays you see in sports where, man, the coach didn't call the play that made that wide receiver double cut that dude and break his ankles? The kid ran through a wall at 100 miles per hour, broke that kid's ankles with his athleticism, and took it to the house. That's not coaching.
The coach gave him the opportunity to make that decision.
Right. And coaching is important. I'm not saying that.
Oh, it is. But
people can't always act like that's not the kids buy-in and the kids' effort, man. That's like, so let me put it this way. Players win games, coaches lose them. And let that shit sink for a minute. Players win games, coaches lose them. Let that shit sink. When I lose a game, for example, when we lose, that shit is my fault, bro. I don't care. That shit means I didn't prepare these kids well enough.
Put the right person in the
right game
role.
Plan, right person. Something I screwed up. When the players win, it's because these dudes made more plays than the other team.
These dudes
they were disciplined. They played hard. They made more plays. Players win game, coaches losing, bro. And that's some selfless shit. You got to be selfless to coach this life, man. You have to be.
I like the way you coach because you're making the human making a human being, an adult human being, and you're assisting on that, and then you're teaching schematics of the game.
And it's still, that's important, but it's not important until that first part is down.
Coach, if you're a football coach, you know everything about football. No, I know how to develop these kids too.
And that's how some of them are.
A lot of it's development.
And some of these guys will, though. They'll slam the book down and say, look, I know X's and O's and X's and O's. Cool, but do you even know what the fuck Charlie's going through on a daily basis? Charlie ain't running that play right, and you out here yelling at him, but Charlie's
he's distracted
something
by
just happened.
That's going on.
He just got into it at school today with somebody, or mom's going through something. Like, man, you got to know these kids before. And that's what, honestly, bro, coaching schematics and technique is fucking easy once the kids trust you.
Right.
And it's honestly teaching them discipline's easy. Once they trust you and know that you love them, then it's in Last Chance U, Coach Brown, JB, Last Chance U, he always talked about it. He said, once the babies love you, then you can discipline them. Then you can joke sometimes. Then you can motherfuck them if the team needs it.
Right.
But you can't tell the team, get the fuck
go
on the
right
line.
in there, motherfuck them right now.
Like you a military sergeant, bro.
Yep.
That's how you break kids.
Drop down and give me 30.
Yep. And people will judge me. I know they will for my style of coaching because they've heard things or see things. But what I always tell people is before you judge what you see or hear on a sideline, before you hear me potentially chewing somebody out, or that's how you interpret it, because we do have a soft ass society. Yep. So what you might interpret as I'm chewing him out, just do me one favor. I always ask everybody, go talk to the kid. See how the kid feels. See if he hates coach. See if he's like, yeah, coach was chewing me out.
Coach is right. I was fucking up.
Because what he's going to say is coach is trying to teach me. 99% of the time, bro. He's going to say coach was trying to teach me. Because again, and that's not being cocky. That's because me and that kid spent so much damn time together. And because I care about the kid, that he knows in that instant, you screwed up and I need to hold you accountable, because that shit's what's going to happen when you get older. And I don't care what society tells these kids.
The best part about you being a coach is you don't hold it as a job.
No.
You hold it as like
that shit's a passion, bro.
You hold it as like you're like the path maker. You help them make their path, you know, and that's
and I got that from
you just lay it out for them,
to
and
be
they
honest.
got to build it. That's what you do. You bring them all the material and they got to build their path. And you teach them how to do it and everything, but they have to do it. It has to,
you got to put the work.
It's their drive and what makes them want it if you want it, you know.
And that's the hardest part as a coach, because you don't get everybody, bro. Not everybody makes it. I'll be real, and that sucks to say that, but not everybody makes it through. Some kids you push, you try, you do every, and then they have a different personality. So you try every, all right, let me try this. Let me talk to them this way. Or let me try this. Let me try pushing them like this. And some kids, it's sad, it sucks, is part of, every coach has dealt with it. You don't win them all. And that's the shittiest part of coaching, to be honest, is like, you can't win them all, but if you can get the majority of them,
though, you can't
it is. But if you get the majority of them, man, you can change that community, that part of the world, right? And you can change that kid's life.
Or that kid's life. Like, at least, you know,
at minimum, he ends up being better.
And like how you said, you know, I could charge a lot more money. But you don't, because you feel rich because you're helping these kids become a better person. And
that's the first thing I tell the parents, bro. Any parent that texts me about it or calls me, I tell them, look, I have a daughter that needs to eat. I have rent that's due. But I will not overcharge you for shit. Because and this is the thing. I always ask, and my evaluations are crazy, bro. Like, you get a evaluation on your athleticism and where you're at for injuries and shape wise. And then you get a separate one for mentally where you're at, where you're trying. Same thing. Gonna be with Keith and them today. I'm gonna ask them the same question. Keith, what you trying to do, my guy? What is it, man? I know your situation right now. But what do you want your situation to be?
What do you want out of this? Is basically
this and life. Like, what do you want out of what you're doing with me? And then what do you want out of what you're doing just in life? Like, because then when I know your long-term goals, bro, then I know how to attack things and help you build habits that can help you reach that shit.
I got 2 more questions for you.
All right.
Where can we reach you, and how do we get a hold of you and everything?
So I honestly, for coaching, man, I'm an open book. I put my phone number on social media. I put my email on social media. But if you go on social media, you can go to Kennedy Health and Wellness. It's a group page, just so everybody knows. The Facebook page is something down in Virginia that's been closed. It's an actual group. So if you don't see the group, that's not the right one. Kennedy Health and Wellness. There's also a Coach K, Sports Performance and Training. All right. So you can go to that. And that's where so what I do on there is communicate with everybody. So if I got a camp coming up, that group will actually hear it first before social media. If I got a day where I can't be there and I got a group session, I'll put it on there. Hey, everybody, you know, something happened with my daughter today, or this happened, I got to go. And then I drop some OTA exclusive stuff on there. So I'll drop some exclusive training videos or even exclusive videos of us training. So I got 100 members in there where we keep it pretty low key, but honestly, if you're interested in my type of coaching or overtime athletes, join that group. I'll add you in. It's not like I don't add people in, that type of deal.
Gotta go through interview process.
Right.
Yeah.
And then on Instagram, it's Coach K 93. So Coach K 93, you can find me. I do post on there, and Twitter as well. So Twitter is big for coaching. I'm also on there. And so get on there. And again, you can email me anytime if you have questions. Like I said, I've had people hit me up 3 a.m., ask me something or going through something. Coach, you're always just positive, man. And, you know, this just happened. I will get up. I swear I will get up at 3 a.m. and text somebody back. I'm that crazy about it. My phone stays nightstand, volume up by my head just for that reason.
Just in case.
Yep. So honestly, reach out. My phone number's on Facebook. My name is Devin Kennedy too. So if you want to add me on Facebook, type in Devin, Devyn Kennedy, and you can search that and you can find me, and you can find all this stuff on my page because I share all that along with my guys from Brain Jerk and all of our people. I share a ton of stuff on there. So that's a good spot to come on and check us out.
Last question, and we're going to get out of here. If you had one last thing to say to the world, what are you saying?
One last thing. Honestly, I put it on Facebook, I think a couple days ago. Be authentic and do everything out of love. That would be the last message. If I had to go into a room full of people and give one message to a team, that would be it. Be authentic to who you are, even if now that doesn't mean don't work on stuff, you know, notice your flaws and fix them, but like be authentic to yourself, man, even if it makes people a little uncomfortable. We talked about that shit last night. We talk about it a lot, bro. I don't some people might feel uncomfortable with you in the room. Some people feel uncomfortable with my style of coaching. Some people are going to feel uncomfortable with Josh. Some people are going to, but being authentic to yourself, bro, there ain't nothing better than that. And then do the shit out of love. Because if you do stuff out of money, if you do it out of hate, if you do it out of anger, life just is a misery, bro, every day. And I used to live like that after my grandmother died, man, for a long time until I found coaching. So just be authentic and always do shit out of love. And that's honestly, bro, that's our thing. That's the co-op, us, all the people we associate with. That's this group. That's why we all move in the same direction. You know what I'm saying? Be
authentic. I'm unapologetically myself.
Facts. And I love that.
I learned that it really doesn't matter what other people think, as long as I love myself and I know who I am.
Yep.
What is there?
Facts,
I understand you're mad and I'm sorry, but just don't be around me.
Right.
Sorry.
Right.
You know?
And I hope people like understand, man, at the end of the day, you can always work on yourself, but there are certain, like you said last night, people going to see you based on an image and think, oh, I don't know. But it's like, dog, this is me. So if you don't like it, you're going to have to deal with it.
Just don't do it. But spark a conversation with me. You're going to fall in love.
Facts, man.
You know?
Yep.
So that's it for episode 119.
Thank y'all for having me, man.
Thank you so much for coming on, bro. You had good ass words.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Josh.
You guys have a beautiful Sunday. We just took you to church, baby. That's what we did. You got it's Sunday, right?
Yep. Okay. Sunday.
Yeah. You have a beautiful Sunday. I love you guys. Have a great day. That's it.
Love you guys. Come get some work.
Yeah. Good work from Coach K.